For the pillow talk or what? Oh, so I got semi-dressed up for you guys. You see my little stewardess outfit, and I'll explain later. Just relax, I'll explain. So, the con man. Everybody has been wanting to know who this guy is that done con me out my damn heart. I wish he would have just stole my identity instead. You know, but he had to be extra. And he had to take my heart instead. Are you a conning ass nigga? Are you a conning ass woman? Are you one too? Anyway. So, the con man really, really, really reminds me of Frank Abagnale. I think that's how you say his name. Abagnale. Anyway. He reminds me of Frank Abagnale. Frank Abagnale is an infamous con man. He was played by Leonardo DiCaprio in Catch Me If You Can. So I was inspired by that movie. You know, when Leonardo is walking, he's a pilot and he's posing as a pilot. And he's walking like with 10 stewardess. So I have my little stewardess outfit on. In the photo shoot for the cover, I was wearing a pilot because, you know, I'm some pilot shit. But anyway, my hair is still wet, so it's driving me crazy, y'all. It's driving me crazy. So the con man reminds me of him because the con man was so smooth with his words. And we don't call him scammers. He old school, so, you know, he's a con man. He called himself, you know, in his days, he was a con man. You know, scammers is for the new kids on the block. Either way, he was just so smooth, and most con men are. You know, he could get whatever he wanted. He knew how to, I don't want to say manipulate a conversation, but that's kind of what it is, you know? He just knew how to talk to people. He knew how to get what he wanted. Let me give you a little background on the con man. He was one of the youngest men to steal millions of dollars from a U.S. bank. And he was even featured in the Wall Street Journal because his shit was just that huge, you know. His operation was that big. So he's a big dog. He's a legit con man, you know, not how these little pop-up shops every tax season you'll get a few couple thousand, a couple 100,000. He was doing some big boy shit, you know. But anyway, that's the con man. That's the con man's background. And the con man lives in Atlanta. I met him in Tampa. And I saw a lot of myself in him, a lot of my future self in him too, you know, because I wondered, because he's a very well-off man, very comfortable. He's living very comfortably. And he didn't have anyone genuine around him, which is why I think we really hit it off, because we both were looking for that, like, unconditional love in a conditional world and that genuinity. And it kind of reminded us that it's still out there, you know, because we had a lot of genuine moments, a lot of really deep conversations that I think, you know, helped and touched both of us on different levels. And I think that's what drew us into each other even more. I think we kind of clicked. We kind of hit it off right away. And he just seemed so transparent, you know. Conning us. But he just seemed so transparent and so forthcoming with who he was and everything like that. Well, I had to Google some things, you know, when I first met him, get a background check, you know what I'm saying? And when I found out, you know, his background, I dipped. You know, he called me Houdini because I ran. I ghost on his ass for like a week. Not even. I think he got back in my good graces in probably less than a week. The nigga was smooth, okay, you guys? Just, he could get something out of you too. I guarantee, I put money that he could get something out of you. Anyway, so, and he by far was treated me the best any man has ever treated me. As far as attention, affection, gifts, like, everything. across the board. He was hands down the best man I've ever been with. I can still say this now. Best man I've ever been with. So he's setting the bar high for y'all niggas. Like, I feel bad for y'all niggas. Like, oh God. Like, but this nigga had a fiance. I'm still pretty sure he has a wife because, or even though he showed me the divorce certificate, I think he has a wife. Might be wrong. And he had a handful of girlfriends. But what I didn't understand is when we were together, we were only together for like 3-4 months. When we were together, he was with me literally all the time. We were talking all the time. So like, where did he find the time? How? That nigga was so smooth. He was so good at what he did. You know? So, I mean, and he gave me just so much advice on business. He's a businessman too. He's already owns a bunch of successful business since, you know, that little encounter with the law, which he never did any jail time. He paid it all back. This was 10 years ago. So, he taught me a lot about businesses. He builds businesses and sells them and blah, 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 blah. So he taught me so much. He fed my mind so much, you know, which is what I really think reeled me in with him, because I just have a hungry ass mind. I just like to be challenged. I like to be fed information, and you know, that's what really gets me. That's what really turns me on, and he had that down packed. But he was a con man. That nigga straight up con my ass. Slow count for the con man. Frank Abagnale style. Anywho, that's the background story on the con man. Oh, let me just say that I always feel like the universe is working in my favor. I live by it. I believe it every single day. And I was just getting my little toe back into music when I started dealing with him. And I don't know if I would have dove in head first like I did, like I have, if it wasn't for that whole situation. Because I got a bomb-ass song out of it. It was literally just an interlude in my head that kept playing over and over, and I could not get it out of my head. I just needed to get it out, you know? It was just one of those things. And, you know, everything that is in that song is a memory, pretty much, that I just need to just spit the fuck out. I need to get it out. So I finally got it out. You know what I'm saying? It feels so good. It's like a brain dump, as MVP would say, or like my brain threw up. My brain needed to throw up, and out came the comment. It's catapulted into this big thing now, and now when I can't wait to the point where he ain't gonna be able, because he still lives in Atlanta. I can't wait to the point where he can't ride around with his radio on, because every time he turn on his fucking radio, he gonna hear that. Yeah, I'm talking about you, and you know I'm talking about your ass too. Tell your fiance and girlfriends and wife I said what's up. You just watched the Pillow Talk Confessions, and no one's safe because these pillows talk.